Bodybuilding is about lifting weights. That's what it's about. It's about pumping iron. It's not about injecting, but over the years, it's actually became more about injecting than lifting weights, you know? So that's the question. I think everyone has their own opinion on whether it's cheating or not cheating. And my thing is that, you know, whatever it takes, you know, if you can do that and you can get away with it and nobody knows and you end up winning the show, then fuck, that's great. The thing is I can't really say I'm for steroids, but I'm not really against steroids. You know, it's a personal choice.
Scroll through social media for 5 minutes and you'll see physiques that look superhuman. Perfect lighting, perfect size, perfect definition. But what most people don't see is what's behind those bodies and the pressure it creates. Every year, the number of young men who take performance-enhancing drugs increases. In 2000, just 3% of young men in America were observed to have been taking performance enhancers, whereas today, in 2026, this observation has increased to around 15%. What is it that is leading the young men of today to take these unsafe and briefly studied substances, and what are the consequences involved? With the rise of gym culture and its standards on social media, young men are placing more and more attention and value on their physical appearance. While this can be a good thing, it becomes an issue when physical appearance becomes the only thing that defines a person's value. The obsession with physical appearance perhaps has become so popular due to these growingly popular movements that have circulated throughout the social media space. This movement is largely targeted towards young men, emphasizing the maximization of looks through extreme means. Online figures are seen on stream admitting to using PEDs and other drugs to maximize their look, painting these things in a positive light.
I only worked out for like a year. I was like, you know, this, like, I'm taking steroids.
That's like kind of hilarious.
I did become enhanced at 17. Is that something that you're willing to do in the future? Whatever it takes?
This is seen more clearly on platforms such as TikTok, where young teens post their steroid cycles openly or hide their cycles behind a fake, natty status. Although there is a large amount of content about PEDs, there is a shortage of information about the negative effects.
What's happening is these kids, these 17-year-olds, are looking at 20-year-old IFBB pros who have clearly been blasting for years, and they think, I want to have that physique too, but I want it now, and so they start blasting everything. And then they go to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and offer coaching.
All of these factors, combined with the fact that the vast majority of young men are on social media, has almost certainly led to an increase in PED usage among young people who may be going in with little to no idea of what they're getting themselves into. On popular social media, such as TikTok and Instagram, many peptide and PED vendors advertise their products on the site, sold behind no age bars or verification requirements. Due to an extreme ease of access, as shown on screen, these websites and servers pose a serious issue. Not only can young men access research chemicals and other self-endangering agents through these sites, but the PEDs they get from these third-party vendors pose the risk of the products being counterfeited or below standard, presenting an even greater health risk. To demonstrate the severity of the issue, we decided to find these vendors for ourselves, and what we found was disturbing. Countless TikTok pages and websites advertising easy-to-hide peptide refrigerators and portables, SARMs and peptides ready to purchase with discreet packaging, as well as disposable needles and sanitation kits needed to inject the PEDs, all with the intent to sell to minors who plan to hide these purchases from their parents and take the performance enhancers in secret. These kids provide a massive market for these unethical companies and advertisers, but at the cost of their safe transactions and suspicious vendors.
doesn't have gyno, doesn't have acne. He looks great for a 16-year-old. But then you progressively go through his page. So the acne is starting to show. The acne is horrific, and you can see the gyno starting to form as well. Internally, his body is telling him he needs to get off. He's having a very bad reaction to the compounds.
People have been going like, oh, I'm doing it safely. So is it actually possible to ever do steroids safely?
Is there a way to push my test levels to, 3,000 nanograms per deciliter and have it be completely risk-free? No, it's impossible, unfortunately.
While there are many videos about PEDs on the internet, there is a surprising shortage of information about what can happen as a result. You see the physiques, but things like painful acne covering the body, hormone imbalance, and issues with fertility go undisclosed and overlooked by those who would have you believe the pros outweigh the cons.
What's wrong with performance-enhancing drugs?
Well, nothing. I mean, nothing in my view, but...
And what might be the most disturbing of all, you rarely see influencers acknowledge the countless steroid-related deaths that occur every year. So what are the side effects you could expect when taking steroids? That depends on the drug. Anabolic and androgenic steroids, such as testosterone esters, trenbolone, dianabol and anavar, or methandrostenolone and oxandrolone, all pose serious risks of cardiovascular issues, from thickened heart tissue and risks of heart attack and stroke. They also pose hormonal risks like natural test production, shutting down, and infertility. Oral steroids especially cause liver toxicity and also spike emotional response. SARMs, or selective androgen receptor modulators, such as MK strands, ligandrol, testolone or RAD, and YK11, all lead to extreme hormonal suppression in test production and libido. They also commonly cause liver damage and cardiovascular issues. Many SARM products are also spiked with steroids or mislabeled. Peptides and other hormone-based products, like human growth hormone, IGF-1, CJC1295, and BPC157, destroy natural hormone function, risk long-term endocrine dysfunction, cause unregulated organ growth, risk cancer and metabolic issues such as insulin resistance and fluid retention. All of these side effects have been observed in products with no long-term study behind them and are detrimental to the development of young men.